When I think of underrated game changers, I always think of Velcro straps on shoes. They're superior in almost every way, yet here I am, lacing up like a fool day after day because of my vanity. After that, I think of Triads on a guitar, okay? So today we're talking about Triads, but not just as chords to play, even though that's what they are. We're going to use them just as kind of like tools that you can use to do whatever it is that you want. Everybody talks about Triads. There's like a million videos on YouTube all about Triads. Triad is a 3-note chord. We're going to do it in the key of A, the most beautiful key of all time. And first, let's just go through just the two shapes. Triads are only two shapes. We're going to use the A major shape and the A minor shape. Okay? So we got one major shape, second fret on the D, G, and B strings. In fact, all we're going to do is play the D, G, and B strings today. So it's going to be easy. No real actual bar chords. Doesn't matter what level you're at. Doesn't matter if you're in the Velcro phase or not. I had a girlfriend once when I wanted to buy some Velcro shoes, and she was like, didn't realize we were there yet. As if it was just like a super old person thing to do. And I think that's dumb. So anyways, the Velcro strap man of guitar is here to save the day. So here's A major, 2G, 2D, and 2B, right? You can play it however you want, but the next chord in the key of A is going to be B minor. Alright, this is the 2 chord, but we don't have to play it as a bar chord. You can just play it as an A minor shape, 2 frets higher. So now I have the 3rd fret on the B string, the 4th fret on the G string, the 4th fret on the D string. Okay, so before we go through all the rest of them, I just want to talk about the relationship between the 1 and the 2 chord, okay? We have a shape here, and then a similar shape here. Instead of 2, 2, 2, all in line, it's 2 notes in line and 1 back. And that's what makes it different from a major chord to a minor chord, okay? Now, what I don't see people think about or talk about as often is thinking of just the distance between triads, the interval, as a way to think about scales or just kind of like maybe improvising over a single chord, okay? So since this is the next chord in the key, every one of these single notes is going to be the next note in that key, okay? So if I have 2, 2, and 2, and then 4, 4, and 3, I can make a little scale going 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 3. Okay? So what that does is maybe I don't even have to go from the 1 chord to a 2 chord, A major to B minor. I can just think of these notes as things I can do off of an A major chord, right? So I could be like A. I really just thought of the next triad higher and then just use those as available notes to maybe inflect the previous chord. What I'm thinking of as the previous chord is a 1 chord, okay? And we can do that with every single one of these triads all across the fretboard. So let's go to the next chord in the key, which is C sharp minor. C sharp minor is another chord that a lot of beginners will be like, oh my God, C sharp minor, no. Well, the beautiful thing about A major specifically is you can always have the E string and the A string open, and it's not really going to just derail a chord like it would in another key. All right, actually, I think makes it prettier to have those strings open the whole time. So even though we're focusing on the D, G, and B strings, if you accidentally hit those strings around them, it's not going to be a game changer, right? It's not like if you actually try to do sports in Velcro shoes, which is what I am against. I'm not about to like just go out and ball out with some Velcro Skechers. But from a day-to-day activity standpoint, Velcro just makes a lot of sense. All right, I'm not going to make any more Velcro references. But the C sharp minor chord is just going to be 2 frets higher than the B minor chord, okay? So, same shape. So we can do the same thing. We can make almost like a little mini scale going from 4, 4, 3 to 6, 6, 5. 4, 6, 4, 6, 3, 5. Okay, so now we can inflect the B minor chord. Or extend it off of the A chord. I can kind of maybe go higher. Right, I'm like, so here I am with my A chord. I'm thinking of the B minor spot there, right? Even though I'm not doing it all at once, you can see that's where those notes are coming from. And then maybe even higher. And then ending up on A, okay? So let's go through all the rest of the chords here. The 4 chord is going to be A, B minor, C sharp minor, D major. Again, it's easy. It's the same thing as the first one, but now we're on the 7th fret. Okay? And then 1 forward is going to be the E major chord, 7 to 9. Again, if you're like a bluesman or woman, it's 2022. You know what I mean? How dare I presume that, you know, you're gendered based on your blues love. We have the 2nd fret to the 7th fret to the 9th fret. So you could be like A. To the 4 to the 5, right? And again, I love that 4 to the 5 chord because you can kind of just rip through it because it's the same frets, right? Even at the beginning, having just it be a whole step, 2 fret difference, and then a half step is something that you'll get used to. But again, just hit it and rip it with that. I said I was not gonna make any more Velcro references, but really, you're just ripping it. You know what I'm saying? 5, 5, 7, and 9. And then 1 more minor triad. This is going to be the F sharp minor chord. Again, I always think of my pointer finger as kind of anchoring this. The 10th fret, 11th fret, 11th fret, backwards B, G, D, like that. And then the tricky one, if we want to call it tricky, is going to be the 7 chord in the key, which is the only other shape we have to talk about before we get back home to A on the 14th fret or the 2nd fret past the octave. Okay, so real quick, just to kind of talk for a brief second about that 7 chord. This is a diminished triad. Easy enough to remember. We just have the D octave, so 12th fret, 13th fret, 12th fret. The way that I think of this, actually, I almost think of the 7 chord in a key almost like another minor triad, because that's what it's closest to, right? There would be the minor triad of that, G sharp technically, but you just drop your leading tone there, and then you can kind of go home from there. Okay, so to recap just the chords, we have A major, B minor, a step higher is going to be C sharp minor, then to D major, E major, F sharp minor, we have G sharp diminished, and back to A. Okay, so even though this is in an open key, and like I said, I'll strum all 6 strings. 1 chord, the 2 chord, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Right? So when you accidentally hit those surrounding notes, it still doesn't sound bad, but it might muddy up the sound. It's a good thing just to do to start practicing, trying to maybe just target the notes that you're trying to hit. By the way, rocking out the D'Angelico Mini DC today. I think this is one of the better guitars you can get for under $1,000. I'll put a Sweetwater affiliate link in the description if you guys are interested. Really like this guitar. But yeah, it's a really easy exercise that will make yourself more familiar with the intervals and spacings in any key, right? I did choose A because I think it's like a good visual to kind of start here and end up all the way down here. But like I said, in any key, it's good to start seeing the difference of them, right? We could start in D, we could start here. Let's pretend we're in the key of D. Then we just start doing the triad and then those intervals, right? 2 chord, 3 chord, 4, 5. And then maybe even end on a different triad voicing that you can do, okay? So there is an unlimited amount of ways to think about this, and this is just taking one kind of run of triads. There's so many different ways you can check it out. That's why if you guys are interested, I'll also link my Patreon because I talk more about triads on there, especially from like a beginner level on up. I know the thing about some of these videos is I talk super fast. Try to slow it down on my Patreon because everybody's attention spans are different, you know what I mean? But I definitely think one cool way to do it is just to take a chord and then just explore. Alright, and that's all all from in my mind's eye thinking of this chord and this chord and kind of lighten up these spots. Which again, these strings classically being rooted on the A string, if we were to do kind of like traditional voices, it would look like A major, B minor, C sharp minor, D, E, F, then G sharp back to A. But this is a lot easier way to do it, and just kind of like a more accessible way to kind of get into triads and just soloing around and having a blast. So thanks for checking it out. Check out the Patreon. If you're nasty, hit me up on Instagram for some fire Instagram content as well. And I will talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.